Live from Fargo and serving you on TV, online, and on the go. This is Valley News Live at 10.
A long-running and controversial medical waste incinerator here in Fargo is no longer operating. In fact, the company that ran it says it shut it down in May.
After receiving an anonymous whistleblower letter, we wanted to know how it happened. As Valley News Team's Rose Itzkovitz found out, neighbors say the shutdown is long overdue.
Fargo's been a dumping hub for medical waste across the U.S. for years.
There's only so many incinerators, and we were one of the regional locations, and it was more economical for those facilities from California, Washington, West Coast to send it to Fargo.
4 years ago, during the Ebola outbreak, Fargo was one of just a few places throughout the country where infectious waste could be destroyed. Fargo's Healthcare Environmental Services Incorporated, known as HESI, had an incinerator that could do the job. But Executive Director Mike Erickson says it never did.
We never received any hazardous infectious waste, i.e. Ebola.
Now, after failing an emissions test last March, HESI says it shut down its incinerator for good, as it would take up to $1 million to upgrade it.
It really was a business decision. The incinerator is old technology, it's an old piece of equipment.
But a neighboring building manager says the shutdown was long overdue. Lonnie Larson first became a neighbor to the building in 2011.
I was walking the perimeter and noticed a bunch of broken vials full of blood and different medical waste that was in a snowbank that they had pushed off their parking lot onto our property.
When he brought it to Fargo's hazmat facility,
was kindly said to bring it back and be neighborly about it.
The health department said it would monitor the situation.
And that was about the end of the discussion there.
Emails from other neighbors wishing to remain anonymous, saying no action was taken. One neighbor says this has been going on even decades before 2011. But the health department says over the years, if the incinerator failed any tests, it would remedy the situation within the required time.
For every hour of operation, they do have to follow protocols, and they have to keep records, and they have to maintain minimum temperatures and all those sorts of things.
Then in 2014, neighbors began to document dark, thick smoke, saying it caused corrosion to their buildings and even vehicles.
As far as the corrosion, it's hard to discern. You know as well as I do that water in itself can corrode and rust. On the other hand, for me to say it absolutely wasn't anything else, we can't say that.
This email from the health department blames the smoke on the angle of the sun. But judge for yourself. These pictures were taken at night. When I spoke to the health department, they said sometimes there was visible dark smoke, but only for about a minute at a time.
When they, let's say, would lose power, we might get a complaint about that. Let's say somebody was driving by and it was only literally 1 minute of emissions for a whole month.
Finally, in May of 2018, neighbors heard the incinerator was shut down. Neighbors say they're relieved, but they'd still like to know what took so long. So what comes next? Emails from HESI show they had plans to move forward on bringing in a more environmentally friendly way to destroy waste through a company called Monarch Waste Technologies. But HESI tells me that's just one possibility, and they're not in any rush to pick out the new technology since it can ship 80% of its waste to Valley City to be autoclaved. They say the other 20% that can't get shipped out of state. Reporting in the studio, Rose Itzkovitz, Valley News Live.
If you need help uncovering fraud or corruption in your community, call our whistleblower hotline. The phone number's on your screen, 701-237-6576, and leave your tip. A member of our investigative team will get on the case and go to work to expose the truth.
Plows, snow blowers, and shovels are the weapons of choice tonight. Time to clean the streets and the sidewalks and the driveways after this afternoon's dumping. Sounds like there might be more to come. Hutch?
That is the case tonight, though. The snow has all but ended across the valley. Still lingering clouds across the region as most of the snow now pushing into southern Minnesota. But for tomorrow by afternoon, we have a winter weather advisory posted for our southern and western counties. Roads still a little dicey out there, so allow extra time for your morning commute. Hour by hour forecast as we go through the overnight, our chance of snow is nil. In fact, we may see some clearing. Colder east, but out to the west on the left side of the screen, that blue is our next wave of snow. I'll have the very latest in the track and timing of that system here in just a couple moments.
Okay, thanks, Hutch.
29-year-old Daniel Habiger of Fargo was sentenced to 17 years in prison today after pleading guilty to terrorizing and manslaughter. Habinger will have to serve 14 years in prison, along with 3 years probation, and will also get credit for already serving 259 days.
West Fargo police are asking for your help finding a vehicle after a hit and run involving a high school student. It happened around 4 this afternoon. Police say the teenager was hit while crossing 7th Avenue East near West Fargo High School. The teen suffered injuries to both legs and was taken to a hospital. The car involved may have been a 4-door sedan. You can contact police if you have any information.
A 10-year-old boy is recovering from a gunshot wound after authorities say he found an unsecured handgun and fired it. Authorities got a call from the Bemidji Hospital late yesterday afternoon. The boy had a bullet wound from a .22 caliber handgun that wasn't secured in his home. An arrest was made in the incident and formal charges are pending. No names have been released.
2 people sit in jail tonight following a drug bust on Interstate 94. The pair was pulled over for speeding outside of Bismarck. Authorities found 30 pounds of packaged marijuana, a small amount of hashish, and $1,100 in cash. Authorities say Ulysses Rodriguez and DeAndre Nixon now face a number of drug charges. A Walsh County family is wondering where they'll live after fire tore through their home.
It's a devastating loss right before the holidays, and they say their house could have been saved if the rural fire department had arrived quicker than they did. Valley News Team's Joshua Pagero has our story.
The Wrights family says they were just a few months away from owning their home in Warsaw, North Dakota.
It's devastating. It's hard.
A blaze on Monday morning burned through those plans.
In our hallway by our bathroom, there was flames up in the ceiling.
Stephen Wright says the fire began shortly after 9 in the morning. He was next door at his mom's house when he saw a plume of smoke. He ran home and tried using a hose, but it was frozen.
The last thing I did was break the water mains in the bathroom. In the kitchen, I was pulling the pipes to make it spray water.
Stephen lived in the house with his wife Angela and 3 kids. Luckily, no human lives were lost. However, 6 of his pets were killed.
I could hear them inside. That was just the saddest thing I could bear, was hearing them call for me. And I couldn't go back in for them.
The Wright family claims it took the Minto Rural Volunteer Fire Department at least an hour to respond after they called 911. Stephen says they didn't have homeowners insurance.
And we've made it through some hard times. This is the hardest that we're facing, but we're a strong family and we'll make it through.
In the meantime, the Wright family is looking to find the living arrangements. They have to be out of their motel by Sunday. In Warsaw, Joshua Pagero, Valley News Live.
The family says that they don't know the cause of the fire yet. We did reach out to the Minto Rural Volunteer Fire Department and are hoping to hear back soon.
The newest top 10 list is out for the worst toys. These are the ones that are too dangerous to buy for presents this year. The list includes a variety of pretend weapons, as well as pillow pets and a wooden dog. Experts say when shopping, it's best to check out the age recommendation and any hazards printed on the box. They say make sure to stay away from small objects that a child could fit in their mouth. Keep in mind, just because a toy is on the shelf doesn't mean it's completely safe. If you want to see the complete dangerous toys list, visit our website, valleynewslive.com, and click on this story.
There's still time to give on this Give to the Max Day, Minnesota's annual reminder to help those who are less fortunate. The 24-hour event ends at midnight. As of earlier this evening, just under $16 million had been raised, and they were still counting.
Later on Valley News Live at 10, a story that could help you with your Thanksgiving holiday planning.
And a winter weather advisory posted for many in our southern counties. We had a shot of snow today, totaling about 2 inches here in the FM area. Your hour-by-hour forecast has more snow. Details are next.